Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Hayya ala salah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Hayya ala salah.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Again, I rise, giving all praises to the great God of the universe, known affectionately to the Moorish Americans as Allah. I give the highest of honors to His Prophet, Noble Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is a man that has been etched out of history. So, this man, unless you do your own independent research, you will probably never find out about this man. But everything that we demonstrate here today comes out of the legacy he left. I'm going to mention a word. I need everybody's contribution relative to this word. When I say the word slave, who pops in your mind? Okay. Okay. Who else? The general answer was black people, right? Yeah. Okay. Any other specific answers?
Yeah, colored.
Colored. Slave. Come on. Kunta Kinte. Okay. Anybody else? Whips. What else? Caucasian man.
Cotton.
Cotton. Okay. Cornfield. All right. Does anybody know the origin of the word slave? Okay. Has anyone ever heard of the country Yugoslavia?
No.
Anyone ever heard of the country Czechoslovakia?
Yes.
Okay. The suffix to those two words is the word Slav, which is the word slave. The origin of that word has nothing to do with anyone that looks like you. Those are countries in Eastern Europe, right? There's a set of history that has been rewritten and given to you, right? And you judge everything that you do now, whether you realize it or not, based off what you learned about slavery. Example, sisters, what's good hair?
White people hair. Black people hair.
Greasy, come out easy, brown.
I'm with you. Well, go ahead.
When it's easy to come out.
Natural hair.
And the purple.
All right.
Put it on color.
Listen, there are no mistakes in the universe. If you were born with the hair that you have, that hair is good hair, regardless of what you were given. Good hair is not the equivalent of straight hair. That is a slave teaching. That was a teaching that came about by way of the institution of slavery. Okay? Why am I saying these things? I'm saying these things because the overall image that we have of ourselves, when it's easy to do this right here. Again, as Sister Lamadia very bad demonstrated, stupid, retarded, dumb, so we can do that, call it Jonah, right? Jonah backing each other back and forth, right? But that's easy, right? Yeah. But you see how hard it was? My brother, could you set up, please? Thank you very much. Do you see how hard it was to get up there and tell each other that we love each other? I love the last two sisters, right? Because they just giggling and laughing, couldn't even get it out. But see, that's something that love is supposed to do. And I love my two brothers that came up with the pound. Who was that? The two brothers that came up, right? They weren't gonna hold hands. I get it, trust me, right? But the reality of it is, love is actually harder for us to do because how we've been taught is the exact opposite of what love is, right? Most of us are, anybody know what the word adept means? A-D-E-P-T? Adept. Keep going. If someone is adept in a particular thing, that means they're what?
They feel comfortable.
Or skillful. Exactly, right? So we have become adept at hate, right? We've become skillful at tearing each other down, right? But how about lifting each other up? You see what I'm saying? Like my sister right here has her braids, right? If someone was coming, you know what? I love that hairstyle. Where'd you get your hair done? And lift her up instead of tearing her down, right? Because again, how we taught to tear each other down, we pick this stuff up from home. We pick this stuff up. Who's your favorite rap artist? Who y'all listen to? Who's hot right now?
Lil Baby.
Who else? Okay. Now, I'd like somebody to put their hand up who yelled out an artist. Somebody? Anyone? My man right here. So, name an artist that you like. What song do you like by him?
Chill.
$1. What's he talking about in $1? That's your artist though, right? I'm not picking on you. But see, I'm just, because what happens is, we gotta remember like what music is. Music, right? We are musical people. That's who we are. As long as we've been on earth, that's what we've been doing music. Music was designed to tell the world what our culture was, right? Anybody seen, a video of, African dance? Yeah. You seen this? And those dances tell a story. You know that, right? Yeah. So if you would go, to go in Nigeria amongst the Yoruba, right? And if you would look to look at the dances for Oshun, the dances for it, which is a particular ancestor in the Yoruba culture, most of the dances, demonstrate like they're women dances, so I can't do it. But they demonstrate like a waving motion because Oshun represents the river, right? So all the dances, demonstrate a wavy-like motion like rivers create, right? That's the tradition of what music and dance was supposed to be, right? But music nowadays has been weaponized. What do I mean by that? They've taken it and to distract. What else? All right. Drug use. Yep. Right. Molly, perks. You said mumble rap. Right. I'm a little more lenient on that. And here's why. Right. He said mumble rap. The reason why I'm a little more lenient than that because every generation of music takes their own. What they're doing in the music is is reflecting the society that they're around. Right? So when we're saying, what is mumble? Mumble is something that doesn't make sense, right? I can't make it out, I can't understand it. When you look at what's going on in the society, it's a mumble society, right? And the music is reflecting that. So I'm lenient towards that because it's merely reflecting that. Back in the day, the brother James Brown made a song. This is how the word black became popular because before this, right before James Brown made this song, if you called somebody black, you probably get punched in the mouth, right? James Brown made a song called Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. And it was so popular, and he was so popular of an artist, it crept in the mainstream, which showed people that whatever the musicians say, people will do. Okay? Why they took and weaponized their music and put the drugs in the music. Put the embedded advertising in the music. So it's no strange happening that you want to wear the things that you wear because you listen to the things that you listen to. You're being programmed every step of the way and don't even realize it. You understand what I'm saying? But anytime, see, when you have your culture intact, when you know who you are, you know the principles that you stand for, right? And when you know the principles that you stand for, anybody that comes to you against your principles, you know this is your enemy. Okay? And I'm not doing this to be radical or agitating or get anybody upset. But in other words, if we're supposed to love one another, my brother right here, again, you mentioned something earlier, when my wife said, you're my brother. And you said, for real? I have no idea, right? That kind of shows me where we're getting as a people. Because generally, from times past, it was generally understood that we were family. Okay, it's a common thing. You ever walk down the street, and you see another brother, you say, you nod your head. Why do you do that?
Just because. Like,
there's a reason for everything. There's no coincidence in the universe. Everything has a purpose, right? Yeah. Can we agree on that? Yeah. Does everything have a purpose? Yeah. Okay, so if everything has a purpose. Why did your subconscious mind, when you looked at somebody that looked like you, make you nod your head? But tell you what an elder told me. See, there was a time period for our people in this country where you can go in an environment with people that didn't necessarily look like you, and it could kind of pop off. Like in other words, like right now, let me bring it to your time. Y'all see the police shootings, right? Yeah. All right, where we're getting murdered in the street and nobody's going to jail. Y'all see that, right? Yeah. Okay, that's not new. That's been happening. Okay, so what's making it seem like it's new because everybody has a camera phone in their pocket, right? So people can, film it, upload it. Now everybody knows. Back in the day, those things were regional, right? So you didn't know what, let's say, happened to Emmett Till till much after. Y'all know Emmett Till? Yeah. What happened to Emmett Till? He was murdered for what? Damn. There you go.
Nobody lied.
Y'all just told a complete story just that fast. And at the end of it, the young sister said, let me go to the beginning of it. He allegedly whistled at a Caucasian woman, right? And the young sister said right before she died, she admitted that she lied. So, the young brother was 15 at the time, who was beaten and had an electrical fan wrapped around his neck and thrown off a bridge and drowned to death, right? He died for nothing. He died as a result of the fact that somebody just was hating him and wanted to see him dead, all right? Now, back to the nod of the head, right? The nod of the head took place because if we were in an environment and surrounded by people that we didn't know that looked like us, right? And we didn't know what their intention was. The thing was, when I come in the room and I see you, I nod my head. The nod is, I got you, and you got me. Right? If it jumps off of here, I got you, and you got me. Let me ask a question. How many of you in here, when it comes to your morals, has a price? Say it again. How many of you in here, when it comes to your morals, in other words, the things that you stand for, how many of you in here have a price? In other words, can you be bought? In other words, can I, my brother, can I give you $15,000 to punch him in the face? Why wouldn't you do it? Can I give you $1 million?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit him from the split.
What you say? I'm gonna hit him.
This is my receipt for it.
And then we'll spend it.
See, that's the thing. None of us should have a price to sell each other out. I'll give you an example. What just happened this week. I don't know the state, but it was a particular beauty supply somewhere in the country. And it was owned by a man who was Chinese descent. There was a sister was in there. Evidently, they had a word exchange, argument, and the Chinese man punched the sister in the face. Okay? People in the community got together and said, we're going to boycott the store. We're not going to give them any more of our money. Because would that make sense? Y'all are thinking people, right? Yeah. Would it make sense to buy from a business of people that are, persecuting your people? Or punching your women in the breast? I'm asking that. Somebody punch your mama in the face. You going to go spend some money there? No. All right. So what did the Chinese man do? He can't go out of business, right? What did he do? He said, all hair in the store, 50% off. What happened? What happened? What happened? Tell me what happened. They was lying out the door, up the block. Elders in the community came out and was like, I can't believe y'all doing this. And one sister, she come out, she said, you don't know what I'm going through in this snap. I'm going to get this hair. Justifying. Hold on, is that funny though? No, let's be real though. Is that funny? Yes. The fact that we can even laugh at that, that's not, you see what I'm saying? So again, that's why I asked, can you be bought? Right? And if you have your culture and principles intact, you know that certain things, the world is going to offer you all kind of stuff. The world is going to consistently try to see what your price is. Right? See what sisters, a man with no scruples will come up to you, will offer you, I'll buy you an outfit if you out. Now you gotta see what your standards are. Now, because is it in you to say, I'm better than that, get away from me? It better be in you, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you got some responsibilities and he ain't there. You understand what I'm saying? That goes back to the humanity concept that Mr. Mahone talked about. When you talk about humanity, all the girls in the room, young ladies, excuse me, stand up.
Young ladies, stand up.
I didn't say everybody talk. Hold on. I didn't say everybody talk. I said women stand up. Quiet down. Young men, see these women in the room? That's humanity. If it wasn't for them, right, the future of our people would end, right? They got to master motherhood. They got to master nurturing. They got to master putting us back together when the world tears us up. These women right here, if it wasn't for these women and the women before them and the women before them, we as a people would have been wiped out long time ago, right? So everybody give snaps to the women that's standing there.
Thank you.
These are our mothers. Hold on. These are our mothers. This is Auntie. This is Madia. This is everybody. Right? So we honor you for that. All right, please be seated. We have to give back the simple respects. Okay? And I'm able to stand before you and speak confidently about this because I've studied this. Right? Different cultures, through all different languages, all different types of stuff. We touched on the word Negro earlier, right? In Spanish, there's a word, negra. Do you speak Spanish? Okay. Negra means what in Spanish? Okay. Now, moreno means brown. Okay. Now let me give you the history of that. Right. Back in Spain, right, there was a group of people called the Moors. They came from northwest Africa, from a country called Morocco, and invaded Spain. When they invaded Spain, they ruled Spain for just short of 800 years, 781 years. Those people look just like everyone in this room, from the lightest of us to the darkest of us, right? Beautiful melanin, beautiful melanin. Let's make sure you know, right? We ruled Spain for 781 years, right? The Moors that left Morocco spoke Arabic, right? When they went into Spain, they influenced the culture of Spain with, with their culture. So in Spanish, there's over 8,000 words that are of Arabic origin, right? So the the overthrow, when the Moors got thrown out of power, all right? They went from, because Moor in Spanish is Moreno, right? When the Moors got overthrown, they started calling them negros, negra, and then from negra, when the English took it, it became negro, right? And when that got translated, that became black. See? So negro and black are actually both slave terms. And these are things that we have to give up, right? Not just the names, but the principles that surround them. I will come on top.
Keep going.
Okay. So, there are principles that surround names. Now, I want to give honors to my brother, I believe it was you. Who was the one that said that about sticks and stones may break my bones? That was you? Okay. Very powerful because, again, words are the most powerful thing. Thought is the most powerful thing in the universe, right? The words are the manifestation of your thoughts, right? How many people have ever read the Bible before? Okay? In the Bible, there's a verse that says, out of the abundance of the heart does the mouth speak. So if you want to know what's on somebody's heart, listen to them. Right? I guarantee you when the bell rings, y'all gonna hear some language in that hallway. It has nothing to do with the powerful legacy of your ancestors. It has nothing to do with honoring your mother, your grandmother, or anybody that you hold dear. Right? But why do we endorse this stuff? Right? Why do we make it cool, right, to be a Negro? Because if Negro relates to slavery, I'll say that. If it relates to that, why have we popularized the word? Again, it's a weak attempt to try to take power back. But the best way to take power back is to flip the concepts and be the best part of yourself. That's how you take power back. How you take power back is to flip what the world thinks of you. Let me give you an example. These are some of the books that I've authored, right? I'm going to show you how the world thinks of you. I'm going to show you an image. When they think of you, that's what they think. They see a zombie. What is a zombie, everyone? Person without a brain. What else? What is a zombie? Right? They call him the living dead. Right? So he looks like he's alive, right? But he doesn't do things that living people do. Right? What are some of the things that living people do? Think. Ooh, that was the main one. What else?
Walk.
Say again? Walk straight. So he's upright, right? So he's not all
Breathe.
right? What else? Love. What else? Say again, act normal. What's normal though? Because normal is subject to the definition. Right now there's what they call a new normal. Right? The stuff that y'all are seeing is the new normal, but that's not normal. You understand? But let's think, expand. Say again? They can't talk right? How would you call talking right? Proper.
They would probably not talk normal because we don't talk the way they talk.
Okay. So in other words, using the English language the way it was meant to be used, or using it to build people up, or to create instead of destroy. Could we agree?
Yes.
All right. But see, this is the thing. Many of us, the biggest thing in 1865 when they passed the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. Has anybody ever read the Constitution before?
Yeah.
Read it a little bit, right? Generally around the time of Black History Month, they usually start reading the 13th Amendment to you, because that's what abolished slavery, right? But did it abolish slavery?
No.
What? Except by way of what? Slavery is legal in America right now if you do what?
Go to jail.
Who said that? Go to jail.
The booty house.
It says slavery shall be abolished except by way of punishment for a crime. So if you go to prison, you can be held, pay attention, you can be held as a legal slave, right? How many of us have relatives or know people that are in jail?
But you still standing here.
With respect to their situation, they're slaves right now. They're in a slave condition because they can't get up when they want to. They can't eat what they want to. They can't call you when they want to. They can't dress the way they want to do. Yes.
And it was something we just learned in class yesterday, and we was basically saying about how now, basically what you were saying about how jail being legalized, because back in the day when the slave would escape, they would send a dog to take down the slave. And nowadays, if you see a situation where somebody's running from the police, they get dogs to go chase them down.
Exactly.
So basically it's like that.
And in fact, in this country, what was the origin of the police department? How did they come about? What was their first job? Catching runaway slaves. That's where it started. Okay? If you do the research, you'll find that out. All right? But again, I just want to read something really quick just to show you there's another side of what they talk about that slavery situation and it only being us. This is a book entitled The Slave Community by John Blassingame, right? Chapter 2, which is called The Americanization of the Slave and the Africanization of the South. It says, from the 8th to the 19th century, so that's from the year 700 to the year 1800, pay attention, right? It says, hundreds of thousands of Europeans were enslaved by Arabs, Turks, and West Africans. What does that mean? People that you call, you all call white today, people that you call Caucasian, whatever, at one point, they were the slaves of your ancestors. Were you ever taught? No. Well, why weren't you ever taught?
Because they don't want us to know that.
Why wouldn't they want you to know that?
They don't want us to.
Why would that be empowered? Because again, man, let's be real. It's wrong to hold anybody against their will. Right? Let's establish that. Right? But why would that be kind of empowering for you? Because well, why? Anybody? Confidence? Why would it give you confidence?
To know that you were higher than them?
Okay. Let me just, because this might go somewhere else. You're right in a sense, because what it does is it shows the possibilities of what can be done. Right? So in other words, if all you think is that, can anybody tell me who we were before slavery? Prove it.
How can you do it?
No, prove it.
You can't because you don't tell them.
No, you can prove there's plenty of evidence all around the earth. How can we prove it? What cultures? What did you build? You said math. I know them pyramids, but what else?
America.
All right. How many people taking math courses? Anybody taking algebra? The word algebra is an Arabic word, algebra. It comes from the ancient Moors. We created that. You've heard of calculus?
Yes.
Trigonometry?
Yes.
Astronomy?
Yes.
Did you know most of the constellations have Arabic names from your forefathers?
Yes.
So you were naming stars, and those names still exist. Did you know that? All right. So that's why, to your point about the confidence. All right. Let me just read this real quick. It says, European servitude to the Muslims began when the Arabs from North Africa launched their campaign to conquer the Iberian Peninsula in 711. That's Spain. After the expulsion of the Arabs from the Iberian Peninsula in the 15th century, Muslims frequently raided the coast of Spain, Portugal, Italy. This is where your ancestors were going and taking slaves from, right? Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, France, England, Ireland, and Iceland, and the islands of Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, and Cyprus, that's all in the Mediterranean, sacked their towns and carried their inhabitants back to North Africa where they were enslaved. Okay? It goes on and on, it really drives the point home, but the point is that you aren't taught that for a reason. There's a reason that's not on the curriculum. There's a reason, right? Now, that falls on us as adults, right? Because the adults should be able to lobby to get a balanced curriculum, right? So you can learn various different things that can help you see get a good balanced worldview. Because right now, your worldview exists solely to the benefit of other people, right? Your worldview right now, right, exists to fill the prisons up. Because if this is our reality right here, stupid, retarded, dumb, and slow, if that's our reality, when a person leaves out and they go out into the world, how are they going to conduct themselves in the world? I'll give an example. One time, I was at a traffic light, and I looked over, it was a guy, he was in a gas station eating a box of wings, right? When he got done with the wings, he took the whole box and threw it out the window. It was a trash can right there, right? It was a trash can right there. He could have got out of his car, walked 3 steps and put it in the trash can. But why did he not feel as though it was wrong to litter in his own community? Because he had no connection to his community, right? Now what happens when outsiders come from other communities here and look at how we live? What do they think of us?
Dirty.
Ghetto.
The living dead. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, in Mexico, there are statues in the jungles known as the Olmec statues, right? This is what's in the jungles of Mexico, right? This brother looks like could be any one of your uncles right now. Now, on the back of these statue heads, you'll see braids coming down the back, just like my sister's wearing right here. That's down in Mexico, right? I said last week that our Mexican brothers and sisters are our family, that's our cousins. But y'all not taught that, so you don't know that, right? And you'll think that they're different because they speak a different language. We speak English, right? Does that make you English? No. So linguistic differences don't make you not family. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all have some real studying to do. And all the studying, anything that you study, if it doesn't go back to you and empowering you and your people, it is worthless. Period. What is the word? Y'all all hope to get a diploma, right?
Yes.
What does the word diploma mean?
A piece of paper where you get paid.
That's what it is, and what we hope it can do, right? But what does the word itself mean?
I don't know the exact word, but like in the real word, what you have to be success.
I'm going to show you that you do know what it means. Anybody ever seen a diploma before? Yeah, it comes in that case. It's like this, right? And
Beautiful.
right. You said it looks beautiful? Yeah, especially South Atlanta. Mine was about this big, and it was real cool. Y'all's look the big purple joint. It's still purple?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the point is the word diploma means to unfold. Literally, because when you get it, you open it up. It's diploma, right? But to unfold. But what it means is that when you get that particular piece of paper, right, you're supposed to have learned something to help your character, your principles, and everything unfold to the next level, right? And if you extend your education and you go to college and you get a degree, right? What does the word degree mean? The word degree means a step. That's all it is. So you get an associate, that's a step. You get what? Bachelor's, another step, right? Master's, another step. You understand what I'm saying? Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, doctorate, another step, right? But these are all steps in the unfoldment of making you a contributing member of society, right? But if you aren't taught the principal things necessary to contribute to that society, you'll be classed as what they call undesirables and a burden on society, right? And what they do to people that are classed as burden in society is the same thing you see the police are doing to our people right now. And they're able to justify it. They call it justifiable homicide. Okay? And it's because of how we act, right? And it starts with you in your sphere of influence. What does sphere of influence mean? Everybody know?
No.
Sphere of influence. What is a sphere? Circle of influence, right? The immediate people that are around you, right? So if you reflect, all your friends, your relatives, whatever, when you see them acting other than our better selves, it's nobody else's obligation but yours to check them and raise them up. That's your job, okay? Can't parcel it out, somebody, anybody, whatever the analogy was Mr. Mahone gave, right? It's your duty if you know, because once you start appreciating who you are, certain things start to hurt your ears, right? Certain things start to hurt your eyesight, right? When I see my brothers walking with the pants when they hold behind out, right? I get it, because in my era, we sagged a little. Y'all done took that to the next level. Whole other level, right? But the point is, what image does that give the world? You understand? Is that showing that our humanity is intact? It doesn't. It shows that we're outside of humanity. Because civilized people wear belts, don't they? Wear their pants up, don't they? You see? Civilized people make eye contact when they talk. They speak with power and authority. Anytime you're called to speak, you speak with power and authority. When you speak, you don't speak from your throat. You speak from right here. That's the essence of you. That's why it's important to sit up. To sit up straight, right? Give you access to your diaphragm. So when you pull that message, that's how you connect with people, right? This is the thing that motivational speakers don't tell you. It's a science to what they do, right? But it's the fact that they're able to speak from the essence of themselves and connect heart to heart with anybody they're trying to connect with. You understand? And never fear your own people. If you have to speak in front of your own people, that is your family. Anybody in here afraid to speak to a cousin? Afraid to speak to your mama?
No.
Yes.
Well, it depends on what you did, right? Okay? But the point is the fact that that's family, so you don't fear them like that, like fear like a pit bull will chase you. It's not that kind of fear. Now, fear if you didn't do your homework or the teacher called, then that might be a different level, right? But the reality of it is we can't be in a position where we are afraid of each other, right? We look like we got the same hair. We got the same, some varying complexions of hue, right? But at the end of the day, every one of us has members in our family that could look like someone else, all right? So all we have is each other. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, let me give you this real quick too. I'm standing before you with this headdress on, right? Anytime somebody comes before you, has something on or a symbol or whatever that you don't understand, ask the question, right? Relative to this headdress I have on, what is the oldest university or college on earth? Way back. Yeah, go back way back before that. Where? Way before that? I said on Earth, not America. On Earth. You don't know? Right? In the country of Morocco, right? Northwest Africa, there's a city called Fez, right? That's what the headdress is called. And the university is called the University of Karawayi, or the University of Fez. This was the headdress of those that attended that university. Certain schools we have to wear uniforms, polo shirts, khaki pants. Well, the Fez headdress was a symbol of the fact of anyone who had studied the lessons of that university. And Noble Drew Ali brought us the teaching back of that, of that particular university while we don the headdress. So, anytime you see someone that looks like, that's wearing this particular headdress, speak before you, they're gonna speak love, they're gonna speak civilization, they're gonna speak culture, and they're gonna demand the best out of you. And we don't do the victim mentality. So there's no blaming with Caucasians or what you may refer to as so-called white people. It's no blaming them, because our destiny is in our hands. If we mess it up, it's on us, right? How many people when they left the house this morning made their bed up? Be honest. More hands down than not. And guess what? For the ones whose hand is down, when you go back home, what condition is your bed gonna be in? Same conditions when you left it. Same, unless Mama went there and made it. If she did, and if she did, you're gonna have to hear her mouth, right? Right? But the point is, if we don't clean our communities up, right? If you go away and come back, it's gonna be in the same state, right? Do you all have to have community service hours to graduate?
Yes.
So what are you gonna do in the community to get those hours? Trash. What else? Help the elderly. What else? Volunteer where? Order.
It's this animal shelter.
You like animals?
Yeah.
Good for them. Now, after you graduate, are y'all gonna keep that up, or y'all just doing it for the grade?
Yeah.
Or y'all just doing it for that? You doing it for the grade? Okay. But you'll see. Order. You'll see when you get out of society, you'll start to see the need for those things that you were doing in high school. Order. Okay. And you have to keep that up and maintain that. You understand what I'm saying? All right? So again, I don't consider this a lecture. I consider myself as your brother, and I just wanted to share some things with you that we see the need for. This is work we're already doing in the community, all right? And it was an honor for us to be invited to come speak to you all, because again, all of you all are the future leaders. How many people have heard of Martin Luther King? Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, okay? Oh, I see you with the X shirt, okay? All right? But the point is, how did Malcolm X start off? Start off just like y'all. Just like y'all, from the same conditions, some maybe a little worse than you all, right? But nevertheless, he had a certain set of conditions happen in his life that made him realize he had to do something because he didn't like how people were being treated. Same thing with Noble Drew Ali. He couldn't stay everywhere he went. Our people were, somebody had their foot on our necks. He said, well, you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice my life to make sure my people know who they are. You see, some of you in here right now have that seed of development in you. But it's just like anything. Does anybody know the process of growing a plant or whatever? It starts with a seed, and then you can put it a certain amount of depth, and has to get a certain amount of sunlight. You got to water it, keep the weeds away, right? And then it might grow, right? The same thing. When you're going out, keeping that negativity away from you, that's cutting the weeds away, right? Because what happens if you don't, cut the weeds away, it'll come around and choke the plant, and it'll die, right? The environments that we live in are full of weeds that need to be pruned. They need to be cut away, right? So cut the negativity away from yourself, right? Think about what you want out of life and set a course on how to get it, right? Get a mentor, right? Somebody that's already doing what you're trying to do, right? They can guide you and put you on that step. We're more, the More Science Temple of America is more than glad whenever we're called to come to South Atlanta, we'll be here, all right? But at the same time, all we can do is try to inspire you, right? But the word inspire means inner breath. It's about the inside of you, right? And if you don't take the time and the opportunity to take the things that we've said and use them for your benefit, that's on you. You understand what I'm saying? All right? I love you all with a love that y'all don't understand. All right? All of y'all in here are young enough to be my children. And, in my heart of hearts, I look at you all like that. And the same opportunities I want for mine, that are back there, I want for y'all here. You understand? All right? So, never say that, oh, nobody ever told me, but that's a lie, because you were told today. If you were never told, you were told today. And I know that your teachers tell you every day. Right? And give honors to your teachers. There was a man, anybody ever heard of Confucius before?
Yes.
Right? Confucius. Confucius was a leader in China. Right? He was an elder that taught his various different wisdom. Some of his wisdom was that you have to honor your teachers. Hold on, listen. Because your teachers are the keepers of the traditions. Right? Your teachers, they've already gotten their degrees. They've walked their steps. They've unfolded. right? So now they have something for you. You might not like what they're telling you. You might not like the amount of work they're giving you, right? But they want to show you. They want you to show, right, that you truly know what you say you know, right? You can think a thing, but if you know it, you can demonstrate it. True?
Yeah.
Right? So, with that, are there any more questions? Go with the head yes.
What this was called?
Fez. F-E-Z.
Okay, with the fez, did the women in college too have to wear the
No. The women wore what's called a turban. And the reason why is because the turban is considered something that, let's do it this way. If you want to give somebody a gift on Christmas, what do you do to the box?
Right.
Why do you wrap the box?
Because you don't want to make it
And make it look presentable. And what else? You want to make what's inside the box more special or appealing, right? So if you give somebody a box that's wrapped, it's showing them, wow, this must be something special,
But
right?
you give them a raggedy box.
Right, exactly. So there is nothing more important than your brain and your thoughts. That governs everything, right? So as a symbolic right or a form of symbolism, the head was wrapped to show that there was something, special inside that. Okay? Anyone else? Questions? Everybody at peace? All right. And with that, Ms. Shepherd,
Yes, sir.
is Mr. Mahone nearby?
He just stepped out just a second.
Okay. Anyone else? Any last minute questions? What did you learn today? Words are powerful? Okay, what else?
And don't let anyone buy your more.
So don't have a price, right? Okay. Yes.
Learn we should uplift each other and empower each other and celebrate each other.
Power. Yes.
I learned about the origin words and that they came from countries that I didn't know nothing about, and I learned about how powerful words.
Very much. Anybody else?
I learned not to use many derogatory terms and more complimentary because words are dangerous, very powerful. So you have to be very cautious for what you say. I also learned much about history and to be woke.
Right. To tell you about that word woke, I spoke at a Unity banquet not too long ago, and as a young man, he made a very powerful statement. He's like, being woke is not enough because you can be awake still laying in the bed. So, the key is you got to be awake and get up and do something, right? Which brings me to my last, statement or, question. With what you learned today, what are you going to do with it? How? Noble Drew Ali told us that it's not in the possessing of things, but knowing how to use them. How are you going to use them? Pass it on. Good. That's great. What else?
I'm gonna tell my mom.
Say again.
I'm going to be a nicer person.
Yeah.
Nicer person?
Say
Say nicer things? Saying nice things is good. Meaning it is even better. I believe it. Right? Not everybody does. Not everybody says. Sometimes you have to listen to words because every word has a spirit and energy behind it. You see what I'm saying? So you got to ascertain the energy. A lot of times, don't fall for words just because they sound nice.
Yeah,
You understand? You got to get the energy behind it too. Okay? What else? What else are you going to do with it? With what you learned today? Yes.
Respect woman.
Oh, powerful. Powerful. And it's very powerful. Because again, we don't tell you, brothers, y'all think this is a game. Nothing will go good in your life if you don't treat the woman in your life well and with respect. Nothing. Was that movie Color Purpose? Did I tell you do right by me?
That's right.
So yes. So this. Oh, is this? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. Yep. Hold on. We have a comment. Yes, sir.
With the fact that brothers respect their sisters also gotta respect their brothers too.
Fact. That's the word reciprocation. Hold on. Here's why I dealt with the brothers to the sisters first, right? Is because the way our brains are created, masculine and feminine genders have different levels of responsibility. We have something we have to do. Women have something they have to do, right? In terms of rationale and stuff like that, men have to, do what they can do to try to get their emotional body in check and be rational beings, right? Women, because they're nurturers of children, can demonstrate rationale, but also have to be nurturers, so they're also empathic, sentient, so on and so forth. So when it comes to them, let's say if she says something that's, that's whatever, seems kind of wild, whatever, you gotta look at it like, again, check the spirit behind it, the energy behind it, right? And then deal with it according to the energy behind it. But you're dealing with it off the respect of, you know what? I can respond to this different ways, but you know what? My mother's a woman. You know what I'm saying? So how would I want somebody to respect my mother if my mother said something that was kind of outlandish? I would want them to kind of try to be as respectful as possible. You understand what I'm saying? And the fact that, you know, men, when we get upset, we have a tendency to tear up things because we have that strength factor. You know what I'm saying? And under no circumstances ever are you supposed to hit a woman.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, because as a man, right, young brother, you're supposed to have more discipline and restraint. Right? I want you to remember that. That's your lesson for today. Discipline. Right? You have very powerful leadership ability in you and potential, right? I just need you to be more disciplined. You see what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with laughter and joking. That's cool, right? But, you know, when you're in an environment where something's being dealt with is serious, you gotta learn how to pull your seriousness out. Take benefit of that. If not, you're gonna miss something. Not picking on you, but, you know, again, you know, and that's a major lesson because most of us that weren't raised by fathers, right? So some man has to teach you that. So I just want to impart that. Anyone else? Everybody good? Everybody peaceful?
Yes.
All right? Everybody learn something? You gonna walk away with something?
Yes.
Right? Everybody have a good time?
Yes.
I had a great time. I hope to come back and see you all again. Like I said, we love you all with perfect love. And always remember to be the better part of yourself. Be yourself and nobody else. Okay? All right? Everybody snap it up. Thank you very much.
حي على الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر حي على الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر حي على الصلاة